everybody, my name is Brienne. You can also call me Owlco. Today in this video I am going to go over my chameleon's cage. We just got back from the babysitter, so it's just right behind me here. And I'm just going to clean it a little bit and show you how I have my cage set up from top to bottom. Alright, perfect. Well, keep watching and I hope you enjoy. So this is Carlo. He's pretty stressed out right now. We just got back from the babysitter's house after I went on vacation, so he had to have someone look after him. Just letting everyone know right now, moves or drastic changes for chameleons do make them really stressed out. So he wasn't too happy me taking him out of his cage to transport him back to my house. And he's a little mucky green right now. Okay, so this is where I put my cage. It is on top of a lingerie dresser, this big, and then I have my crickets down there at the bottom. And then I have a little project that I'm working on for Carlo's cage that I'm hoping to get done this summer. Anyways, so I put it on top of the dresser, and the cage pretty much goes almost to the roof there. So I like putting the cage in the highest point of my bedroom, just because when chameleons are higher up in a room, they feel safer. And right now what we're looking at is the pad. I just bought literally like a laundry mat from the dollar store that you put in the bathtub so that I don't really wreck my my dresser. I also I bought like a plastic tablecloth, and I have it underneath just in case if I do have any water breaks or my cage gets flooded underneath. It's at least a little bit protected by the plastic right here. Okay, another thing too I like to add is that I do put some old cloths just laying on top of the little laundry or the bath mat, more so just because it's just an extra protection. Okay, so this is my chameleon's cage. I have it right now on my bed, mostly just because I'm going to be cleaning everything and taking a whole bunch of stuff out, which I'll also show you. I'm going to get a little bit closer in here. I do have plastic on this wall, and I do have hard plastic on the back wall, mainly just so that I don't get my walls wet. I also do have some fake plants in his cage. So this one is on the door, mostly just to give him some privacy, and then I have one in this corner as well as in this corner attached to the screen. Those mainly stay in his cage when I clean it, although I will take them out if I do need to do a thorough cleaning. Most of the time, just spot cleaning with these fake plants is fine. He doesn't usually go to the bathroom on them. Other than that, this is his live plant right now. I totally forget the name of it. I bought it at Walmart for like 15 bucks. This is a safe plant for chameleons. Once I remember the name, I will put it in the video so that if you want to get the same plant as me, you're more than welcome to. I also do have some rocks at the bottom here, more so just because when chameleons feel like they need nutrients, they tend to eat dirt. And some dirt has large chunks of wood in it, which could harm the chameleon by impacting it. So which means that the chameleon will eat these wood chunks, they won't be able to digest, and therefore it's going to clog them up and they won't be able to go to the bathroom, and then they'll die. Yeah, and we don't want that happening. So I have that. And I also do have my rose quartz in here, mostly to keep him more lovable, even though he's kind of an asshole, but you know, it happens. I do have my, what's it called? Thermometer? A digital thermometer? Whatever, you get it. And it's kind of broken, but right now, since I don't have the lights on, it's at 71 degrees right at the top here. And then I also do have another one. Let me grab it. It's this one right here that I just keep at the bottom of his enclosure, just so I can, this is a hydrometer, so it just gets the humidity and everything. So I keep it at the bottom to make sure like I have different levels and temperatures in my cage right now. Other than that, I am going to take away some branches. As you can see, this black one's dirty right here. So I'm just going to unwrap that. We're going to wash, just wipe down the bamboo, and then we will set up the cage again. All right. Alright, so I finished wiping down his cage, and I am just going to put in some new towels. I have one towel, I have two towels. One is going to be going inside of his bin that I have for his live plant, and then the other one it's going to be going in just on the bottom here. I do it just in case, so again, if there's any threats of his cage flooding at the bottom, I have extra protection that I won't get my dresser wet. Plus also it helps me clean up better. I'll be able to, it's just easier for me to clean up, I guess. So instead of me having to wipe down his cage over and over again, I can just replace the towel instead. The towel collects dead bugs, when he goes to the bathroom as well. Also dead leaves that goes in it too. I just put it right here. It's an old towel, I don't really care about it, like I said. Now I'm just going to clean up my my live plant a little bit. When you're cleaning live plants, you can just wipe the leaves with water, make sure you get all the urate and poop out of it, as well as I like to kind of clean the soil a little bit, more so just because he'll go to the bathroom and it'll get stuck in the mesh where the rocks are at. So I just give that a little rinse and then I put it back on and then we are good to go. So I'll be right back and do that. Okay everybody, so this is the official tour of his cage. Finally, after we're done cleaning it, I'm just going to start off with from the top to the bottom. So up here I do have my big dripper. I have a little hole in the cage and it drips onto my plants. I also do have my lights. It's just, I think it's the small or medium Zoom Med lights. It's a 2-dome. So I have my basking in the first one and my UVB in the second one. I have another plastic sheet right here, just so that I don't get my wall wet, and I have the cords behind it as well. And they trail all the way down to my plug-in. There we go. And that little white thing right there is a timer. Allows me to be able to program what kind of when to turn the lights on. So like I said before in my last video, Carlo's schedule right now is 7:30 to 7:30, just to keep it a little consistent. After that, I do have, we'll come on inside the cage. Try to get everything to frickin' focus though, right? Alright, so again I have the dripper coming down. This is the thermometer. I do have a hydrometer here again and a thermometer, just to kind of have two tracks of what the heat is at as well as humidity. I do have two main basking branches. One thing I also realized too, I have them held on with like little pins or tacks, I like to say, and sticky tack, just because this freaking bamboo is a little messed up there. I never knew how to attach branches to my cage, and now I do. And it's quite easy, except for you gotta make sure they're sturdy and then they don't kind of twirl around a lot. I had one, and whenever my chameleon went on it, he would literally flip because he was too fat. Other than that too, I also have just stray bamboo sticks. I have two in the back, one right there, and then one over by his little plant area that he likes. And then I just have this one right here. Just to give him a few options if he wants to bask. He'll mainly bask right on this top one right here, but he will sometimes just kind of hang out on this one and kind of get the heat from that. I would like also to mention the position of my light in my cage. As you can tell, I do have it right on the cage. So if you do have your light on the cage, you have to make sure your chameleon does not get too close to it. A good rule of thumb that I read on the internet was that if you keep your main basking branch at least 6 to 7 inches below your light, you shouldn't have to worry about burns. This one is well far enough away that he won't be able to touch it. Although that little rascal sometimes tries to be young again and climb on this. He's too big now, so he usually he doesn't fall, but he can't hold on for longer than he used to. Other than that, I do have this other brown like wire branch here. I just kind of have it connected to a few other branches. I do want to note my feeding cup. Have a few more crickets in there left. I just keep in the back. I make sure to take that feeding cup out when I do spray the cage, because if the crickets get wet, the powder gets wet and they die. Long story short. I just bought this cute little flower from Walmart. It's just rubber right here, and I just used as another kind of branch that he could crawl on. And then I do also have my plant here. It's not that big. It's just so you know, this plant loses leaves like pretty easy, so you gotta be very careful with it. Like I said before, I did wash my rocks for the to put on the soil so my chameleon doesn't eat it. I also do have my rose quartz in there too. Don't know if it helps because, like I said, he's kind of mean still. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for his cage. I would recommend though, maybe like setting a few levels for your chameleon to climb. Oh, almost fell. So as you see, I also do have the rope in the back that I kind of attached, more so just so he can be able to grab onto it, because a lot of times he'll just try to grab onto it and he can't. So yeah, so different levels and lots of different options for him to climb on is probably the best. Other than that, if you do have any other questions, please just let me know. This is my cage right now. I don't really plan on changing it at the moment. I might in the future, more so just because the bottom's broken and I have to use duct tape to try to get it to stay together. Because it's also kind of hanging off the edge because my dresser is a little bit too small. But yeah, that's pretty much my chameleon's cage. He's really mad right now, or stressed out, or trying to warm himself up. So I'm gonna put him in his cage and we'll get back to you. Bye. There we go. He's much better. He is back in his cage. He's gonna probably hate me from the camera. And now his color is not dark anymore. I honestly think either he feels really comfortable in his cage because it's his home, or now that he's under his basking light, because he was just kind of hanging out on my curtain rod over there and there's not a lot of heat coming from there. He's like, hurry up mom, clean my cage so I can be warm. Right, Carlo? Oh, look at how handsome he is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he hates the camera. Okay, bye. Bye, Carlo. Alright, so anyways, that was my video kind of tour on Carlo's cage / how I clean his cage as well. I hope this video helps you with setting up your cage, or maybe if you already have your cage and you've seen something that you like in that I do for Carlo and on his cage, you might want to change it on yours. I'm not too sure, but please let me know how you like this video below. If you do have any questions about his cage or any concerns about this cage, please let me know and I will address them. Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye! Yep.